Make this carnival a special one at Spice Isle Jewelry. Get up to 40% off our collection of silver and gold jewelry with purchases above $115. Visit our 2 locations on Grenville Street, St. George's and Spiceland Mall Grand Dance and see our fine selection of traditional West Indian bangles, necklaces, earrings, rings and our unique handmade pieces. Step into Spice Isle Jewelry and shop in air-conditioned comfort with friendly, helpful and courteous staff. We also pay the most for scrap gold. Our repair service is second to none. Treat yourself or someone special with something special from Spice Isle Jewelry. Serving you since 1986. Call us on telephone number 440-3155 or 440-6648. Sale ends August 31st.
Yeah. Happy Monday. Monday. That's the second thing that, It's Monday? Happy Monday! How you guys doing? Welcome to the ride. Welcome to Monday on the ride. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Round of applause, please. We made it through the show another Monday, another beautiful Monday. Teresa, how you doing? Una, how you doing? Leslie, how you doing? Don, how you doing? Glenda, how you doing? As you're coming, guys, share up the thing. Share it up once, share it up twice. Welcome to the folks in YouTube. Welcome to the folks on Facebook. Thanks for making us your number one choice. We riding. John Mark, we riding. Thanks for making us your number one choice for information, entertainment, fun can done, party, carnival, your everyday thing. Thanks for making us your company, your companion, your friend. We love that. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Lenora Augustine, how you doing, guys? Thank you. Guys, today, let me look at this camera right here. Today, my task is to put this thing into a little bit of perspective for everybody. Because we've been seeing a lot of things that has been published, that has been said, messages that went out. And I find that this thing kind of getting a little bit off the railing a bit, if you understand what I mean. So I think it was very important that we have a conversation about now-term incident, because it seems going on 5 days now. That's the only thing that really consumes social media. And it's concerning to me because I went across, I'm friends with everybody. I'm very close with a lot of my Trinidadian friends and family. In fact, very close family in Trinidad. And I became somehow concerned, ladies and gentlemen, of the language that I start to see and the rhetoric that I start to see going back and forth. Right? So the purpose of the program here today, guys, is to start and engage a conversation and to put all of what we had and what we learned so far into perspective. It's my task. We're going to take it from the beginning. We're going to take it very slow. We're going to take it very slow. And we'll get everybody views heard. All right? All right, so everybody on board. If you're here, if you're locked on, you're shared. In fact, let me share it as well, because I got some friends over there. They're very unforgiving. Yeah, they're very unforgiving. If I don't share the program, they get very upset with me. So let me do that right now. Glenda, you share? Thank you so much, Glenda. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Sonia McKee John, how are you doing? Thank you so much. Yes. All right. What is it? Veronique? I missed it. I missed the name. All right. Share over here. Share on a page. Share on my page. Yes, it's there. Good. Good. I don't want no one to have any excuse about not being a part of this conversation. Urban Louisan, how you doing? Pick up yourself. All right. And guys, I have to also say that we're doing 2 parts of this program today, right? We have 2 parts. All right. So was it Saturday? Yes. We got the news. Was it last Saturday? I don't want to get it wrong. It was last week. The alarming news into our news desk that a situation had just happened. Something that is very alarming just happened and witnessed by a number of people. Was Friday? Saturday. One of the days. Anyway, we quickly, guys, went into overdrive to try to get as much information as possible, because when it happened, of course, a lot of people start to contact right along to get information. It so happened, within a matter of hours, we were able to get contact, video, information as to what transpired. Here's what we learned at this point in time, guys. On that said day, we learned that Grenadian-born javelin world champion Anderson Peters was somehow thrown off the Harbor Master cruise ship, or boat, or party boat, or whatever you want to call it. And we then got the video that showed the altercation that led to him falling off the vessel. Now, the Harbor Master, last Wednesday. Last Wednesday? Thank you. All right, it was last Wednesday. Thank you, Steph Joseph. Yes, it was last Wednesday. So we quickly, shortly after that, we got the videos that showed the altercation and what led to the altercation. Well, we don't know what led to the altercation at the time. We just saw the video. And the video, which I would not show because I think that it was, I mean, if you didn't see the video, you could go on the page and you could watch it. I'm not going to show it here. I'll explain what the video is. The video show an altercation where it seems that 5 men, right, folks that was attached to the Harbor Master, the crew that was attached to the Harbor Master, was in a massive scuffle with an individual who we then found out was Anderson Peters. The fight came to out to the back of the boat, and then we very clearly saw that somehow someone pushed Anderson after he was struggling to get up at one point in time, and he fell into the water. That's what we saw. If I'm saying anything that is incorrect, guys, I want you guys to call in. Let me put a number there because I want to take it very, very slow. And if I say a statement that is incorrect, I want you guys to call me and put me in my place, because I really think that we need to go chronologically into this series of events. Because some people, as I said, got it in the middle. Some people got it in the tail end. However, nonetheless, everyone seemed to have a very strong opinion because they're not operating from a point of, and they are operating from a point of emotion. From a point of emotion. The scuffle came to, and we saw someone push Anderson as he was struggling to get on his feet, and he fell into the water. Right? Okay, we good so far? So that's what we saw, ladies and gentlemen. Pardon the phone ringing in the background there. It's going to soon stop. I better wait until it stop. Okay, stop now. Okay, I did not see the fall. He was pushed. But let's be clear. Let's be clear so far, guys. Someone pushed the individual. Someone that was involved in the scuffle pushed Anderson and he fell into the water. We saw that. We're clear about that. This happened. Right or wrong? This happened, right? Lots of static. Are you guys hearing me clearly? I'm from Trinidad, and they're damn wrong. They need to be jailed. He was pushed. He didn't fall. All right. So we saw that so far, guys. We are here. We're on point. We're on the same. Okay, we good. Fact so far. No makeup thing. No makeup thing, right? That's what we saw. He was pushed. He didn't lose the balance. He didn't slip. He didn't throw himself in the water. He was pushed. Okay. Which means that in order for him to be pushed, and he didn't push himself, and there was not a large set of people on the boat, it's obvious to conclude that someone that he was in a scuffle with pushed him into the water. Good. That is correct. Ladies and gentlemen, we later learned the backstory to what transpired. The backstory that we heard was this from several eyewitnesses, because we want to know what happened before the video start. We want to know what happened before the altercation. Pushed. We good. Trinidadians, Grenadians, Vincentians, Jamaicans, everybody, we here, right? So the brother was somehow pushed. So later we found out from two eyewitnesses to the incident that here is what happened prior to the start of the video starting to roll, because we could only see from when the video started to roll. Here's the story. Anderson Peters went on a cruise, right? That was hosted by one of my good friend promoter. He went on this cruise, and during that cruise, he was there with his friends. Of course, he just came back from World Championship, just, brother, meeting and greeting people, taking pictures with people, liking himself and things like that. We learned that he was asked to stay over onto the next cruise that was boarding right after that, right? So the next cruise that was boarding right after that. So after almost everyone left the boat and they went home, and the second cruise was about to disembark, Anderson, his brother, and probably one or two other people was somewhere on the boat. Now, reports that came to us was that somehow either the captain of the ship or the crew of the ship asked him to disembark the ship, right? I was told by at least two well-placed eyewitness that the idea was that he would have just stayed and continued for the second cruise, because he just came back, as I said, and he's a star, and he felt given the gratitude of meeting the next cruise coming in. We good so far? Good? We good? We good. Right. The altercation started, as far as we learned, when the captain and the crew members came to Anderson to ask him to leave, and the manner in which he was asked, the manner in how he was asked, and his response was as like and he kind of, what we heard was he kind of thing up his hand and he said, well, because they came to him in a kind of way, and what we heard is like he responded in a kind of way. That's what we heard. The fight broke out shortly after. So the video, from where you saw the video, the first part of the video scuffle was as a result of that at that point right here. Now, if I am moving in a direction that is inconsistent to what you know about the story so far, I'll just stop me, call me on the phone, stop me and call me. All right? I want to give everyone a full understanding from what we learned. Put a number up on the screen. You guys could call in at any time. At any time. The numbers are open. Phone lines are wide open. Asking to leave doesn't require a push. Heard he was intoxicated. All of this stuff is out there, guys. All of this stuff is out there. One, as far as we were told from a well-placed source, Anderson was not intoxicated. Right? This was something that was out there. As far as we learned from the information that we received, the first-hand information that we received, that was not the case. There was word going out also that Anderson somehow spat on the captain. As far as we learned, guys, the information that what we received, that also was not the case. All right, hold on. I want to take it I want to take it clinically slow, guys. I want to take it clinically slow, so everyone feel me, hear me, understand, and everybody get an input. I want tag your Trini friends, tag your Grenadian friends, because this is how we get stuff resolved, by talking to each other and understanding each other. I have a caller on the line. I want to hear what that caller have to say. Caller, you live. Go right ahead, sir. Go right ahead. Sorry, person. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Do me a favor. Turn down your background. Turn down your background.
Yeah.
Turn on your background. Take your phone off a speaker. Talk to me straight into the phone.
Oh, that better now?
Am I on speaker?
That better?
Am I on speaker?
No. I'll take your. No,
Okay.
No, not anymore.
Go ahead.
What I was saying, right? I saw, and I came across some information on Facebook where the captain of the boat is alleging that there was some spitting incident from Anderson. That's what led to the fight.
Right.
So I don't know if you saw that.
Right.
You understand it?
Right. Again, from the information that we learned, if there's anyone that have information that could prove and to validate that, please come forward. Step to the front of the class. But as far as information that we heard from three well-placed source that was there,
right,
that did not happen. But let's have the conversation. All right? Let's have the conversation. You were saying, what else you were saying, caller? Go ahead.
Well, yeah, well, basically, as I read, the captain was claiming that there was some altercation, like Anderson was being aggressive towards them. He was pushing and he was calling them names, and then he ended up spitting at one of them. And that's how it started. That's how the whole melee play out.
Right.
But then I read something saying that four of them plead guilty. And one that guilty, so I don't know.
Yeah, I saw the statement as well. A lot of people saw the statement. There was a lot of allegation. There were a lot of things in the statement that I don't know. I wasn't there, but it seems inconsistent from some of the stuff in the statement. I'm going to get to that as well. But caller, thanks for lending your input. If you feel to call back at any point in time, you could do so. All right?
All right, cool.
All right. So, guys, we are at the point where an altercation broke out, right? Because of the way that, he has some females that went to the bathroom to come back, and the way how he was approached, and the way, whatever ensued right at this point in time, guys, it's clear to say that there was some kind of conversation that one person didn't like and the other person didn't like. So, fight broke out. That is where we started to see the first video rolling, as far as our sources reveal to us. All right? Now, people have major objections about one, Why was it that more people didn't come to his rescue? Why was it that more people didn't come and battle for Anderson? I was told that a few artists was on the boat already. Some of them was upstairs, right? The others who was about to board the boat, i.e. the people that was getting ready for the second cruise, was blocked by barricades. They was blocked by barricades, so they could not go forward past the barricade, right? The people that was videotaping is, in fact, the individual that videotaped the whole thing, I think need to be commended, because absent of that video, right? Absent of the video, we would have been here just scratching our head and asking ourselves, did somebody really push him, or did he actually fall into the water? Absent of the video, we'll be asking ourselves this question. We got another call. Let's go to the line. Caller, how you doing?
I'm doing not too bad.
Trinidad and Tobago. I see your area code. How you doing, Trinidad and Tobago?
I'm not too bad.
Okay.
I'm just a little disturbed by the past happenings between our two islands.
Yes.
However, I'm going to make my contribution very much short.
Right.
And I must say that Trinidad and Grenada has a lot of good relationships.
Absolutely.
Very, very good.
Absolutely.
In fact, my deceased mother was from Grenada.
Okay.
So I am a descendant of a Grenada.
Right.
Based on the footage that I saw,
Yes.
my problem is this.
Uh-huh.
The harbor master, which was the harbor master dock, is a stone throw, as we say in Trinidad, a stone throw
Uh-huh.
away from Central Police Station. Am I right or wrong?
You are absolutely right. You could stay on the boat and look to the left and you see the police station right there.
Very good.
Yes.
Now, my issue is this. In spite of what happened on the ship,
Yes.
because it takes two to tango,
Yes.
and sometimes one response would cause another response and it end up into a tango.
Absolutely
But
right.
my thing is, as a Trinidad national,
Uh-huh.
if I'm in a foreign land
Mhm.
and I have an issue with a national, be it from whoever,
Right.
and the police station is so close to where I'm at,
Yes.
I would go to the police station and have the police.
Deal with the
deal with
matter.
it. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when we try to address situation, or as people would say, take matters into our own hands,
Yes.
it blows things out of proportion.
Absolutely.
Because seeing 5 men beat up on one person,
Yes.
it is distasteful.
Right.
It is distasteful.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying who's right and who's wrong in this.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, all this could have been prevented.
Yes.
The harbor master came up there for a purpose to render service,
Absolutely.
and we are all CARICOM.
Absolutely.
If there happens to be a problem on the vessel, especially on the shores of Grenada, and the police station is so close, why someone from the vessel didn't take it upon themselves to just go across to the police station, which is a stone throw away,
Right.
have the police deal with it, which would have been out of their hands, so they would not have been into this situation as we speak in today.
Yes. Absolutely.
This is my argument.
And you are
Because-
absolutely right, caller. That's why, I want to hear everybody's opinion, but here is my conclusion to this, right?
Mhm.
Someone, whether is a Grenadian that went to Trinidad or a Trinidadian that's working in Grenada, that is faced with this type of situation right here, I would hammer them for acting the way how the crew on this vessel acted. Because for one,
Agreed.
as a crew member, you are trained to pot fight. You are trained to de-escalate situation, not escalate a situation into where you will have to fight and gang up on a crew of people if that person, you may say something to the person. Say the worst occurred, and you ask Anderson to get off, and Anderson say, no, he ain't getting off. It is not, whether it's Anderson or whether it's Sobeys or whether it's anybody for that matter, you don't push or manhandle the person as a group of people, jump them and throw them off the ship. No matter what island.
I agree with you.
Right.
I would like to go just a touch further.
Uh-huh.
Now, in all walks of life, we have different professions.
Yes.
People are trained to do different things, whether they do policing, whether it's customer service, what have you. People are trained in a particular way.
Yes.
But we are all human beings made up of flesh and blood. And we have what we rely on something called feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Some say ego. Sometimes we allow our feelings to supersede what we were trained to do, and which causes us to act out of character.
Absolutely.
And this is why I'm saying that the police station was so close.
Mm-hmm.
Why risk trying to de-escalate or take it into your own hands to try to do whatever rather than have the police deal with it? Because you have to remember that in trying to de-escalate a fight, somebody might get lashed, somebody might get strike. Nobody likes to get strike. Blows is unkind. Blows is unkind. So somebody might get strike, and then it would have a retaliation.
Yes.
So instead of risking yourself or trying to put yourself or expose yourself to having your feelings or your ego being tampered with, have the police deal with it.
And that's the right angle. So now I'm getting question. Someone, I see Becky. How are you doing, Becky? Is asking. Caller, I have to take this other call that's coming in, right? But I get your point. No Thank problem. You for sharing your point. Thank you so much. Yeah, Becky and others is asking, are we sure that this group of crew was trained or not? Well, I would assume, and that's just my assumption, I could be wrong, that it is in the best interest of the management of any company that anyone that you put forth to represent you is trained in the task that you set them forth to represent, to do for you, or to present, or how to present you. So if the harbor master pick up some guys that's not trained for the job, and they get into an altercation, the responsibility would fall back on the management of the vessel. That's their responsibility. And herein lies the other part of the conversation that I want to have as it relates to civil versus criminal. We're going to get to that. Let's take this call right now. Caller, you're live. Where are you calling us from?
All right, good. Calling from Grenada.
Hey, go ahead.
Right. So, it's undoubtedly an unpleasant situation, right? One that should concern everybody involved. I'm also concerned about the relationship that we share with Trinidad and Tobago. And one of the reasons is that there are a lot of Grenadians in Trinidad.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Legally or illegally. There are Trinidadians here in Grenada with us.
Yes.
In fact, the last caller stated that his mother is Trinidadian. His deceased mother, is Grenadian.
Yes.
And my family has also originated, part of my family has originated from Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
The implications of making certain statements, for instance, there was a post by a young man on Facebook which called on the present Prime Minister of Grenada, asking for a public holiday the next day to go to war with Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
Now, the implications of making such statements are blaming an entire country for the actions of 5 or 6 nationals of Trinidad. It could work out to the detriment of the Grenadians that live in Trinidad.
Yes, we have to consider that.
So, we have to consider these things.
Yes.
We have to ensure that, we don't paint everybody with a broad brush,
Yes.
right? And I have been looking on, and I have seen in a police release, on a news release, that 3 out of the Trinidadian individuals were issued with medical forms,
Yes.
right, to go to the doctor. And normally in a situation like that, when somebody is issued a medical form, that means that there's substantiated evidence that something has occurred, and it's up to the doctor to provide, if it's harm, grievous harm, whatever it is.
Right.
And then the court would take over and decide if it was actually based on assault or if it was based on the person's actions that caused them to have the injury or the wound and whatever.
Right.
To them.
Well,
right?
we are past that stage, because today was the first appearance in court, and we have the charges that was laid, and we have a number of men who pled guilty. So we're going to speak about that. But that is a foregone conclusion, because after today, we know what the charges are. We know who pled guilty, and we know who didn't plead guilty. We understand that what happened there, and we understand why everyone got issued a medical form. But to your point, Earl, where you said that the relationship between Trinidad and Grenada is a noble one. I think everybody in Grenada have some kind of ties or family member to Trinidad. And that is a fact. And we cannot say that or say this is Trinidad against Grenada. I don't think I don't believe so at all. I think that this is a group of men on a ship that was clearly not properly trained to deal with the task at hand, which is the customer service, providing that level of customer service to the crew. I believe that is the case. And we need to look at it from that perspective. And I firmly believe so.
I definitely do agree. It was a situation that could have been de-escalated.
Yes.
The police station is right there. Now, based on what I understand, the brother or one of the victims is a police officer here in Grenada.
Yes.
And I believe that it should have worked both ways, where the aggrieved or the assailants could have gone to the police station to ask for the assistance of on-duty officers. And I think this is something that we should learn from.
Yes.
Right? We should definitely learn from this situation. It is an ugly situation. We do never, ever promote violence of any sort.
Right.
And we need to allow the authorities to do their jobs instead of further escalating the situation.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Many of us, we don't have the facts as to what transpired. We don't have the facts. We saw video footage. We did not see everything. With my limited knowledge, and I'm sure you would be able to say so, with your knowledge as well of court and so on, there's certain things called a plea bargain, right? We saw they pleaded guilty today, right? Although there was the claim that the crew was attacked. Right. The captain did claim that they were attacked. His workers were attacked.
Right.
But we're not sure what is happening. But I really do hope that we learn from what has happened, and we become closer with each other.
Right. Absolutely.
I really hope so.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
All right. Thank you all. We appreciate your input on this, guys. All right. So again, we're giving everyone an opportunity to chime in, because this is a conversation, guys. I really, when I looked on social media today and I saw the kind of language that was heating up, and people back and forth and the insults between Grenada and Trinidad, I really think that we need to have a conversation, right? Let me get to the point why Grenadians were very, very upset, right? So to my Trini friends, let me explain why Grenadians were very, very upset. Anderson Peters to Grenadians at this point is the equivalence probably of a Brian Lara or Usain Bolt or one of a star athlete in in whatever country, right? And you could, and you have to understand that by seeing this video that escalated, to seeing this video, knowing fully well that your national hero just weeks ago, your national hero, you felt so proud when he threw the javelin and 90 something feet, and he did great. He came home. You happy for him. And you see a video now of 5 men beating the bejesus out of this man. You have to understand why Grenadians are so upset. And anyone that say that they don't understand why Grenadians are upset at this, think about this. Think about a Grenadian coming to Trinidad and boxing up Brian Lara. Just come out and play some cricket, and in the back there, 5 Grenadians hold him and beat him up. Right? Just think about how that feeling, how you would feel if that were to happen. And tell me if you two wouldn't be as upset or even more upset. Let's go back to the phone as we come back. Caller, live, where are you calling us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Grenada. I just calling to make a contribution. My contribution is that I believe a boat like that coming to it's like socializing, and so I believe that we should learn from that. Each boat or whatever ship, whatever come to Grenada or anywhere in the Caribbean should have cameras. I work on cruise ship, and all over that cruise ship, the only place in the cruise ship that don't have a camera is the toilet.
Right.
And none of us shouldn't be baffling for information of what happened and what transpired. Because if that person did not make a video, nobody would have known what happened.
Absolutely.
And 2, if people, and you're selling alcohol on the boat, somebody could fall over, nobody sees. The camera could tell you something.
Yes, absolutely.
And I believe that is my contribution. I have nothing else to say, because I mean, what I saw, it really hurt me, but I don't have anything else to say more than we need to learn from this.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, caller. I appreciate you. All right. So the narrative, and I'm hearing this a lot, the narrative is, but why didn't he listen to the captain? If the captain told him to get off the cruise, to get off the boat, why didn't he just get off the boat? Eh? You guys have to understand a number of things. Let's put this into perspective as well. Even if that was the case, and Anderson said, I am not getting off the cruise, I am staying here. I ain't saying that's what he said to him. Does the action by the 5 crew member justify his response? Do you believe that the action, and I want everybody to put their national hero in the place of Anderson at this point in time. Brian Lara, Usain Bolt.
Junior George, you have a caller.
Let me take this call.
Press 1. For more options, press star.
Let me take this call, guys. Caller, you live, where you calling us from?
Hello.
Yeah, hi. How are you doing, caller?
Hello.
Turn on your background audio for me. I'm hearing myself in the back.
Okay. My first question is, how Mr. Anderson is doing and how is he feeling? Do you have any information about that?
Yes, we posted a full message that he wrote. It's on the page. You could go there and you could read. He's doing a lot better. However, it may take a little while. He said, as far as his emotional recovery, it will take a little while to fully recover from the incident. Physically, he's doing better, but of course, there's an emotional side of it. And that, again, we don't know how long that would take before he get back into the mindset of competing again. All right? But we'll continue to update everyone on his progress physically.
My second part. Thank you. My second part is, this is not the first time this thing happened to Grenadian on a ship. Some months back, this thing happened to a captain on the port of Trinidad. And as a mother and a grandmother, I put myself in that position, and I know the reason why I don't even want to say nothing more because I don't want to kind of ride upon my family.
Right.
Okay? You might know where I'm talking from, but I know where I'm talking from.
Mm-hmm.
I would not have liked to sit on my couch here in New York and see this thing going on.
Right.
And I'll leave it like that. I don't know if you're going to pick me up. And next thing again, Trinidadians, they don't like Grenadians.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that because not all Trinidadians. Because I have family in Trinidad, right? And the family that I have in Trinidad, they have no problems with Grenadians. So when we say things like Trinidadians don't like Grenadians and Grenadians don't like Trinidadians, what we are actually doing, we are painting. Hold on. We are painting the Trinidadian population as a entire population of haters. Everybody that walk on the face of the earth of the land of Trinidad don't like Grenadians. So we can't say that because that is just not true.
But honestly, Mr. Junior, I would not take back my word.
But so are you telling me that my family in Chiguanas, they don't like me as a Grenadian?
All I know is because I heard it already.
But that's from a subset of people. That's a subset of people. But you can't say Grenadians or Trinidadians don't like Grenadians. You can't say that because that is just not true.
The island of Venezuela. I live in Venezuela.
Okay.
I was among Trinidad when I heard it was Basin. And I tell that girl, I say, listen to me. I'm not coming your home again, and I wouldn't be around all day again because I don't know what all you would do to me. I don't have much family down in Venezuela. And that's where I'm from. Since then, I just stay away from these people. And I'm telling it to you. I'm telling you how it is.
Okay. All right, caller. We hear you. But I don't agree with you, though. But I hear you. All right? Thank you for calling. Right along live, 718-701-5720. Guys, I hate when people make that broad stroke because it's clearly it's not a true statement to make. Hold on. It's not a true statement to make. Right? It's not a true statement to make because I have family there. An eyewitness just messaged me. Say, Mr. Man, when the guys came and started to fight with Anderson, they never told him anything. No, Anderson told them anything. They ran up on Ram and grabbed him. So this is what an eyewitness just messaged me, guys. This is what an eyewitness just messaged me. Right? This is what an eyewitness just messaged me. And that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. They said that they ran up, grabbed him by the arm, and started to beat him mercilessly. That's what the eyewitness just messaged me here. Caller, live, where are you calling us from?
Good night, Mr. Junior. Well, I'm sure by the accent now you can tell I'm calling from Trinidad.
You're calling from Trinidad. How are you doing, Trinidad family?
I not too bad. This is Dr. Real.
Hey, sir.
I must say, right, first and foremost, I am totally disappointed in the way that both sides are behaving in the wake of this fracas that took place.
Right.
Because it's really disheartening to take to social media and see Grenadians throwing insults at Trinidadians and vice versa. And just like you corrected the lady the caller just now, they're making general statements based on a subset of people, and I'm really disappointed that this is where we reach in 2022, right?
Yes.
I mean, we trade with Grenada all the time, and they trade with us, I'm guessing. But we fail to realize that as Caribbean people, the world don't see us as different from each other. They see us as one community.
Yes.
And to know that we are fighting amongst ourselves based on an incident that took place, and 90% of us have no clue what happened actually.
Right.
But we are taking sides.
Yes. Yes.
Additionally, allow the justice system to work. Now I'm seeing people coming out and criticizing the justice system for the laws that are in place. Making statements like, the fine is so minimal and that kind of stuff. If the people plead guilty and they get a fine, well, all well and good. The justice system did its job. Our job now is not to cry down the justice system, because the justice system did its job, if you understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
If we are saying that better laws need to be put in place, okay, fine, no problem. But, you know, there's people, I think that a lot of people sit and criticize everything.
Right.
Without even knowing what they're saying. I'm seeing a statement going out that Grenada gave Trinidad most of its entertainers, right? And that if you check people's bloodline, it comes from Grenada. Now, the thing is, Junior, if we go into bloodline, we can't even use the Caribbean. If you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
So it goes back to what I just said. People not aware of the statements that they are making. They're not thinking before they speak. People are calling Grenadans, or Grenada rather, a foul cub. I mean, really and truly, I don't understand where all of this heat and all this, you know, all this venom is coming from.
My Trinidad friend, my Trinidad friend, hence the reason why I want to have this conversation. I go to Trinidad all the time. I love Trinidad. I have a lot of Trinidad friends. I have a lot of media colleagues in Trinidad. I have no problems with Trinidadians. I would never say that Trinidadians don't like Grenadians. I believe in every situation, everybody back up the tree, because everybody is patriotic, everybody is nationalistic, right? But in this particular point right here, it's good to have this diplomatic conversation. And I wanna dismiss and dismantle the thought right now that one side don't like the other, right? We are all, at the end of the day, we're African blood. We came from Africa. We are all brothers and sisters. We just have a slightly different accent, but we are all brothers and sisters. This is an incident that happened, and we need to deal with it as such. The incident that happened, and let's fix that particular problem. My brother, I have to take another call on the line. Thank you so much for chiming in. We appreciate you. All right?
Yeah, man.
All right, thank you. So we are at the point where the altercation happened, where this situation transpired, guys. And here we are. The insults start to go back and forth. Now, every action, as in everything else, you get a reaction, right? I understand, just as how Grenadians are upset, Grenadians look at it from the perspective of a national hero. That is a national hero. But take out the national hero perspective of it, guys. Look at it from a human perspective, because we also learned on the same cruise, there was other fights. On the same cruise, there was other fight. There was 2 other fights that broke out on that cruise. We're not even hearing about them. We're not even hearing about the people that fought on that cruise. So we're only looking at it because we love Anderson and we're proud of Anderson. But take that part of it just for the argument of, just for the point of the conversation as a from a human perspective. Let's come back to that. We got a call in the line. Call you live. Where are you calling us from?
Yeah, hello. I'm calling from St. Lucia.
St. Lucia. Go ahead, St. Lucia.
Yeah. So hear this. I don't advocate violence and these kind of things, right? But I can tell you with certainty, it didn't have to take a Darren, Sammy, or Juliana Alfred. Them men could have never do no St. Lucia now. I'm telling you that straight up. And I kind of feel disappointed because I work in Grenada for a while. I kind of disappointed that most of the people just stood by and just allowed that to happen. You understand?
Yes.
I kind of have a little disappointment in that. Now, moving on from this, the police station is a stone throw away. There was no sincerity in the men act, because if the men wanted to put peace, if a police officer on board, they are trained to de-escalate situations. They could have stepped in and de-escalate the situation. We have moved beyond the issue of who is right and wrong, because based on what I read on your page this morning, 4 men accept that they're guilty. So we move beyond the point. We move beyond the point of who is right and wrong, because nobody is stepping in no court and catching no case and catching no criminal record if they ain't wrong. Right. Nobody is doing that.
Yes.
So the issues and the nitty-gritty as to who was right and who spit in who face and who didn't spit in who face, because it's at the same token people saying Anderson spit in the people's face, I wouldn't even argue that, because it's only a madman who just say and spit in somebody's face. Just so.
Yeah,
So for you to say the fight started, when I tell you, I don't mean you, but for anybody to say the fight started if Anderson spitting in somebody's face, it means Anderson has to be a real madman who just say so and just spit in somebody's face.
Yeah.
You understand? And based on what is portrayed of Anderson, I don't see him as I never met him, but I don't see him as that kind of person.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So at the end of the day, there is something, and it goes back to a point you made earlier, the manner in which he may have been approached is what may have started the altercation.
Yes.
The manner in which he was approached. You understand? No. At the end of the day, I see some people posting some real good comments like, if he was asked to stay on the boat, why the person that asked him to say did not step in and intervene when they say all this drama going? But there is no way. These guys had malicious intent. These guys were not defending themselves, because to throw the man in the sea without even thinking as to whether he can swim or whether he can swim or whether he could have swum or whatever, it shows a malicious action. And I'm surprised they didn't get charged if they didn't get an attempted murder charge.
Right.
You understand?
That is another thing. That is another thing to talk about. That is another thing to talk about, caller. And I'm happy that you brought it up, because I had a lawyer on just last week, and we were talking about the charges in this particular case, and a lot of people was very upset that attempted murder was not a charge. Here's my thing, right? Going into any, I'm no lawyer, but I understand a bit. Going into the court, a lawyer would only put forth charges that they know that they could win, right? You have to. It is a bar. It's a bar. It's a bar. A bar has set. Now, if you have evidence in terms of as it relates to attempted murder, there are certain things that you have to prove attempted murder. Now, what the lawyer was saying is, if they wanted to kill him, right, they could have done it right there on the boat. And that's what he was saying. That's what he was saying, right? They could have done it right on the boat.
But you could die by drowning also.
That's right. But the evidence, as far as what the lawyer was saying.
I understand.
Yeah.
While I understand the lawyer argument, pushing him in the sea, I know if it was me that pushed him in the sea, I would have drowned. I can't swim.
Right.
For sure, I can't swim. So at the end of the day, the reality of the situation is I could not understand why they didn't get a charge, because if 5 of y'all gang up on him, there's an intent to beat him, there's a clear intent to beat him. Because none of y'all, not one of the crewmen were trying to restrain the other crewmen. All of them jump in the fight.
Yeah.
All of them jump in the fight.
There was no voice of reasoning in this whole situation.
None whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the day, again, I must come back to that point. And Grenada is a place I like a lot. I have a lot of friends in Grenada. But I'm kind of disappointed. Maybe it would have been worse if anybody had stepped in, but I'm kind of disappointed that nobody has stepped in, because, like I tell you, it's sad to say it, I have to say it, the men could have only do that there. The men could have never do that down here by we there. They could have never do that. The men could have never do that. The men could have never do that, because people would have stepped in, and like I say, it wouldn't even have to take them jumping on a Darren Sammy or them jumping on a Juliana Alfred for us to step in. It wouldn't even take that. It wouldn't even take that. But let we wait and see. But I know for sure, if Anderson retained Derek, then I know for sure civil case coming. So I know them getting away on the criminal charges, but the pain and suffering and all the things, the bruises the man take and all the bruises the man get, the licks he get, the pain he get, them it ain't gonna be no $3,000 charge. Right. I know for sure it ain't gonna be no $3,000 charge.
That's another one that we have talked about. But sure. Caller, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thanks for your input on the program. Thanks. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. All right, guys. So we understand why Grenadians are upset. Grenadians are upset. I mean, anyone that's watching the video should be upset.
George,
And if you
have a caller. To accept the call, press 1. For more options, press star.
take this call. Anyone that cannot see why anyone would be upset in this case right here, I think you need to reevaluate this. Just look at the video one more time again, because everyone that watched the video should be upset of what happened. 5 men jump, kick, cuff, thump, and eventually threw this man in the sea. Right? That's what happened. And that's facts. That's what we saw in the video. Let's take another call. Caller live, where are you calling us from?
Good night, Junior. I'm calling from Grenada.
Hey, Grenada, how you doing?
I'm fine. Junior, I want to add a few things.
Uh-huh.
I've been listening and observing most of the posts on social media, whether it's from Grenada or Trinidad or elsewhere. Now, I've seen people express a sentiment that really grips me, is that Anderson should have just come off the boat. None of that would have happened. I want to find out when are we going to stop normalizing brutality for things that don't agree with what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing that happens with families, within children. The child didn't do a particular chore, say a lazy tail with licks. And didn't do what you were supposed to do, so you blaze him with licks and you right. I've seen one person going to the lengths to say that there's so many other Grenadian athletes and none of that never happened. Anderson was zesting or whatever.
Uh-huh.
My heart is that we as a people, one of the reasons that these things continue to happen is because we have the mentality that we believe that licks or blows or beating somebody is a means of correction and a means of solving issues or something that does not go in your way. And if we would stop that mentality, we would ease a lot of other altercations and stuff from happening.
Yes.
And that is one of the things that we're failing to understand. We cannot feel that it is always, at all, it is right to beat on somebody because they have not completed a task, done what you asked them to do, or did not act in a manner that you would have wished for them to act. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Appreciate it. The truth and the fact is, guys, it's pretty clear. And I think we made it clear that the crew acted in a manner that they shouldn't. All right? As a crew member working on a ship, your job, your obligation, your responsibility is not to escalate fight. I spoke to a friend of mine who owned cruise lines in Trinidad, and he said to me, my men on my boat, they don't fight. They can't even fight. They de-escalate. They know how to break up fight. They know how to break up a fight, but you ain't gonna catch them in a fight. So whatever the situation is, guys, you are the service provider. You know, they say customers is always right. Just imagine you go to someone office or whatever the case is, and they ask you something and you didn't comply, and the boss, the CEO of the company, the manager of the company, and all the workers start to beat you up and throw you through the window or throw you off the second story building. That is equivalent. That's the kind of service that we're talking about. Customer service. You are in the field of customer service. You're not there to fight and beat up people. You got another call. Call your live. Where are you calling us from?
From Grenada.
Go right ahead, Grenada.
Yeah. Junior, when I look at that video, first thing came to me, George Floyd.
Uh-huh.
And this thing hurt me. I'm a woman, and if I were there in front of the fire station, trust me, some bottles or stone, I didn't care who he hit on that boat. I didn't care whether if it was Anderson or anybody else.
Right.
I would have made sure I try my best to defend that person because that was cruelty.
Mm.
Okay? Now, when you do look at the amount of lash this guy got,
yeah,
I don't know why they didn't charge these guys and them for attempted murder. Because look at it. He got so much lash. He could have even hardly stand up. When they throw him in the water, push him down in the water. You don't know if he'd get a cramp. You don't know if he could swim. The amount of lash, he couldn't even do anything much for himself.
Yeah.
So what? Well, after some time, I just wonder what this justice system in Grenada is all about. We need to change it.
Okay.
We need to change it. Trust me, I would have run on that boat. I didn't care what would have happened. I would have been there. It's like I have my children and somebody taking advantage of my child in front of me. The man put the man's neck on the ground.
Yes.
Come on. And then you don't want us to get upset? Whether it's Anderson or not Anderson, you don't want us to get upset?
Yeah. And as I said, I think we could all conclude, whether you're Trinidad or whether you're Venezuela or whether you're St. Lucia, we all conclude. And I think we should understand why we were upset. Because when you look at the video, anyone will get upset.
Yes,
it is a sad video. You know?
It is sad. And come George Floyd, it was just like that, you know. You just take the man's neck, you put it down.
Yeah.
And your hand was right there. It's next to you to just squeeze it out, you know. But because he had so many people around you, refused to do it. Instead of that, you push him in the water. The next person at the back of him, instead of trying to keep him up, you remove your hand so that he could go in the water. If he dead, he dead. That's what you mean? Come on, man. We need real justice for Anderson. We really need justice.
All right. Thank you, caller.
Anyways, thank you. Yeah.
All right. All right. So let's now talk about the case, right? So after this situation happened, this incident happened, in fact, we were on the scene. We got word a little earlier in that day that they were about to put seizure notice on the boat, so we were there. But we need to understand the case or what is transpiring as far as it relates to the law here. There are two separate cases that is going on simultaneously. First of all, the seizure notice that was placed on the boat has nothing to do with the criminal case. So one, there's a criminal case involving the harbor master and Anderson Peters and his brother. And there is a civil case. The civil case is alleging, and the civil case would aim not to get these guys locked up in prison for any period of time. Is to have them pay for the agony, the stress, the pain, and any loss of whatever Anderson lost. The civil case will do that. So the civil case is right now being represented by Mr. Derek Sylvester, right? And that case is what put forth the seizure notice, because it's alleging to get compensated, right? Financial compensation for a number of things. We saw, if you didn't get a chance to read the full notice, we have it on our website. You could go and read it. And the second case is the criminal case, where the DPP charged these men. And the initial charge, guys, we had stealing was one of the charge that was on there. The second charge was causing grievous harm, right? So the two cases. What we saw today had nothing to do with the civil case. What we saw today had everything to do with the criminal case. Let's take this call and we'll talk a little bit more about what both of them, what we could expect from both the civil and the criminal. We got a caller on the line. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from?
George.
Hey, what's up, my brother?
I am doing excellent. Now, first, let me just say that I am very happy that you all get justice for Anderson Peters. I am very happy. I was in no support of that video, and I don't think anyone is in support of that video. Maybe people were just trying to question it as to what takes place from the beginning. Right. Anyways, I don't want to get too much into that part of the details because I don't know.
Right.
But what I have been seeing And it has been happening in all different Caribbean countries. And I have a serious problem with it. And I don't want to distract it with what takes place with Anderson Peters.
Right.
But in Trinidad, in Jamaica, in Grenada, we have serious matters going on. Right? Nowhere close to what happened to Anderson Peters.
Right.
Now, every day we see people fighting, people getting stabbed, people getting shot. You know, sometimes there are evidence for it. Sometimes the evidence are a little puzzled, and there is no justice. The only time you see people get justice and the whole country is in support of a person is when they have an interest. Is when there's somebody, is either they have money, there's a celebrity, there's an athlete. But as long as you is none of these above, nobody is going to be in full support with you. The whole country is not going to be in full support with you. And I have a problem with that. Not to say I am not happy that justice was served, but so many things happen in Grenada that people protest and to get justice for, and no justice was served as swift as it is serving today. It's happening in Trinidad every day. We need justice for a lot of things that they have proof for, and we still not getting justice for it. Where is the people? Why are we only supporting people that is high up, that have a say already? What happened to the poor man? Why are we not supporting the poor man to get justice as well?
Well, I personally, Stocks, I endorse if there is any injustice, wherever there is injustice, justice needs to be met. We don't just sit here on the platform and say because somebody is at a certain name or a certain brand that we're not going to rally support for them. Right? There have been situations. Go ahead.
It has been happening throughout the whole Caribbean. So many things have been happening because I just said, Junior, there was a fight. There was fight on the boat and there was fight off the boat.
Right.
Similar situation. And nothing, nobody talk about it.
True.
Why? It's
True.
because there was nobody. There's nobody. You understand?
True.
Only because Andy Williams is a person of interest. I mean, Andy Williams, oh gosh. Oh my God. Anderson Peters. That's the only reason why it's happening every day in Trinidad. People, issues that we really need justice for.
Yes. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. The justice system supposed to everyone should benefit from the speedy execution of justice. There are a lot of cases I see here as well that is lagging, and I would sometimes nudge and say, what happened to this case? What happened to that case? So I understand where you're coming from, and you do have a point. My hope is that everything had moved so swiftly, everything could move as swiftly as this case moved.
Yes. It has so many people, women, that missing in Trinidad and Tobago. Nobody's talking about it. But let something small pop up. Everybody talking about it. Why are we wasting our time with these type of issues when bigger issues that we need to deal with, bigger issues we need justice for, and all everybody doing is being Facebook police, being Facebook FBI. Nobody was there, You understand?
Right.
That's all. That's all we just do. And I'm not looking at this as a Trinidad or Grenada thing. I'm looking at this as a black thing. That is all we're doing. Black people just fighting on each other for no reason. We're supposed to be helping each other. We're supposed to be working with each other. Just imagine the whole Caribbean have to come together to form the West Indies to play India, or to play Pakistan, or to play the United Kingdom. Grenada can't beat America by themselves. We need the whole Caribbean to form. Why all of a sudden we moving like all of we separate, all of we different, all of we the same?
Yes, and that's why we want to have this conversation. Just like you're a friend of mine, you in Trinidad, I'm here in Grenada. We all are one family, and that is why I want to have this conversation, because every action you get a reaction. Grenada might say something and so a Trinidadian might pick it up and they will react to it. Similarly, somebody from Trinidad go say something and of course somebody from Grenada go defend it. But I think we kind of forgetting the whole narrative. We kind of forgetting, losing track of what the real problem is. So I want us to bring us back to what brought us to this situation and forget about the trivialized stuff, talking about who island small like a matchbox. And if somebody say that about a Grenadian go jump up and defend because they're here. You know what I mean? People say, no, the place of no opportunity and matchbox and all this kind of insulting things. It moved from just the incident on the boat now to insulting people from Trinidad or insulting people from Grenada. So I want to bring it back, and I'll tell everybody, it's not about talking about Trinidad and disrespecting Trinidad, because I love Trinidad. I have a lot of friends in Trinidad. My family and I'm in Chiguanas. I'm there all the time. I have no problem with people in Trinidad. I'm not saying that all Trinidadians are bad. You can't say that about a population. You can't say that about Grenada. You can't say that about any island. Every place have good and bad about it. And that's where I want us I want to bring us back to that conversation. You understand?
Yep. So
that's where we need to come back to the conversation.
Let me just say before I go, right? Now, if it's that from this day forward that things happen in Grenada that we need justice for, or things happen in Trinidad that we need justice for, and we ain't reacting this way, we're not reaching nowhere. It will continue to happen because you know why? We don't take big things serious. Only minor issues we take serious. Because what happened on that boat was a set of ignorant people.
Right.
That is all it was. A set of ignorant people feel that nobody they're bigger than each other. That is all what happened in that boat.
Right.
It's not like they just walk up to Anderson and beat him just so, or they see Anderson on the road and rob him. It's nothing like that. This was a whole problem with ignorance. Right?
Yes.
So we need to address issues with the poor man, just how we're dealing with the issues with people that have interest, people that have say in the Caribbean. All right. And
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother, Trinidadian brother. All right. So, guys, I want to play back a clip from the proceeding today, from the court today, because again, today was the criminal case, right? Today had nothing to do with the seizure notice that's placed on the boat at this point. It have to do, although you have implication, what happened today has definite implication to the civil case, but we're talking about the criminal case. And this is how it concluded in the criminal case. Check this out.
Well, the matter was called this morning, and 5 of the persons were actually, well, the charges against 5 of the persons were laid in court this morning. 4 of them pleaded guilty. Well, the matter was called this morning, and 5 of the persons were actually, well, the charges against 5 of the persons were laid in court this morning. 4 of them pleaded guilty to the 2 charges laid against them, causing harm in relation to Keaton Peters and grievous harm in relation to Anderson Peters. The one who pleaded not guilty, the charges against him were withdrawn. And the sentencing of the 4 who pleaded guilty was adjourned to Wednesday of this week.
What is the likely sentence? Do you have any ideas to?
Well, sentencing is up to the magistrate, but the maximum sentence for causing harm is $3,000 and 2 years imprisonment, and the maximum sentence for grievous harm is 5 years imprisonment. So whatever sentence will be handed down is within the discretion of the magistrate.
Sorry. You guys didn't hear nothing. I'm sorry. The audio is back now. The audio is back now. Okay. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up when you could hear me. Yeah. Give me a thumbs up. I just wanted you guys to clean your ears a bit. Am I back now? Are you guys hear me now? All right. Whoa, look at message. Whoa, yo, look at message. All right. I wanted all you to clean all your ears. Oh, gosh. All right. Okay, good now. Okay, good. All right. So what I was saying, 4 out of the 6 men pled guilty. Let me give you their names. John Alexander, 55-year-old, Michael John, Sean Jack, and Noel Cooper. All 4 pled guilty for grievous harm, right? And as was said earlier, the maximum sentence that will be read on Wednesday is that's the maximum sentence. We're not saying that they will get the maximum sentence, but that's the maximum sentence. For that crime, for pleading guilty, the maximum sentence is $3,000 and 2 years in prison. Now, they pled guilty, so they might get a lot of credit. They may or may not do jail time. We don't know. Until Wednesday, we'll know exactly what the magistrate does in that particular case. So again, these 4 men all pled guilty for grievous harm. So some people asking, what about stealing? Right? Because remember, initially when the police report came out, stealing was a charge that was there. Right? That, during the investigation, apparently that charge was removed. So that was never even brought up in court. Stealing was not even brought up in court. The only charge was grievous harm, causing grievous harm. The other individual, Lance Wiggins, 45-year-old, he pled not guilty. Right? He pled not guilty, and the charges was dropped against him. There's one other individual, Abiola Benjamin, 40-year-old operator manager. The charge was also dropped against him. So he didn't even have to plea. The charges were dropped even before he sat in for the magistrate. All right. So that's as it relates to the 6 that was charged, and that is in the criminal case, not the civil case. The civil case is a whole other matter. All right. So you guys clear on that? Okay. The question is why. I guess you're asking about why, as it relates to the why was the stealing removed? Quite possibly that during the investigation they search and they figure out that charge should not be brought forth. Whatever it is, it was not presented. Okay? It was not presented. Now, this charge of not guilty could have been a plea bargain. We don't know, right? It could have been a plea bargain by the lawyers, right? To make the process run a lot faster. And listen, people do get credit for not allowing the court to go through a whole lengthy process, and they get credit for pleading guilty. So although the maximum sentence is 2 years in prison and $3,000, they may be fined the money, but they may not. Who may or may not, we don't know. I don't know. We have to wait. Be confined. All right. We got a caller on the line. Let's take that call. Been waiting for a while. Caller, your live. I know he was waiting there for a while. Hello?
Yes, yeah. I'm back again. Something there is not adding up.
Uh-huh. I'm hearing a lot of noise. I'm hearing a lot of noise.
Yes, yeah. I'm back again.
Now, take me off a speaker. Take me off a speaker.
Oh, okay. Okay, you better now?
Yes, better now.
Okay. I'm confused.
Uh-huh.
I'm really, really confused. Listening to this police officer.
Uh-huh.
I'm confused. I want to find out, looking at the video, you've seen how many men there.
Yes.
And you telling me you investigate. And only 4 that plead guilty. That means now something is happening somewhere which we, the public, wants to know what's going on. Is it that the lawyers ask these 4 men to plead guilty to save the other 2? Or something is not adding up here. I find that making me look foolish. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm really confused. Trust me. And I feel other people is confused just like me.
Right.
Okay. You could see definitely 6 people. Out of the 6, none try to pull back. 4 take the rap. You drop 2. Come on.
Yeah, but it could also mean, again, it could also mean that out of the 6, not all of them participated in the fight. Not all of them threw a punch. We don't know. Really? But as far as what this look, I mean, even the guy, the Abiola guy, his charges was dropped even before. Like he wasn't even asked to plead, right? So again, we don't know what was the information or evidence brought forth in the court. We don't know, but we know what we do know is 4 out of the 6 men pled guilty, and on Wednesday they'll know what their future lies ahead. If they would only be fined and confined, if they're going to be confined, if they're going to be, on Wednesday we'll know more details on it. But that is how the cookie crumbled earlier today.
Right. So then, what's about the Rob?
Sorry?
Or Anderson, they gave back Anderson his jewelry.
Well, we don't know. We don't know. Probably
that was just dropped.
That charge, it probably could have been after a search or after investigation. We don't know if it was found. We don't know. Again, we don't know because the charge of stealing never made it in front of the magistrate. So that could possibly mean that.
Between me and you,
yeah. We don't know exactly why, but it never made it in front of the magistrate.
Okay, I understand you, but between me and you, I'm sorry, none of those guys was an American. Just like how the guy allowed the child to do what he had to do, and then when he reached back in America, he had to pay the crime. For the crime, I'm sorry there wasn't Americans to pay for the crime up there.
Right.
I'm sorry. Okay. Because in Grenada, you cannot get justice here. Something has to be done. Right now, we have to take the street to ask for real justice. I'm not talking only on Anderson, but for the whole of Grenada, in circumstances that may come later.
Okay, caller.
Have a good night, Junior. I am really mad.
Thank you so much, caller. All right, guys. So that's how the cookie crumbled today. However, guys, there are implications for the civil case, right? Now that we have this 4 persons pleading guilty in the criminal case, now Derek Sylvester could now say, okay, you already accepted guilt, because remember, there are 2 separate cases, the criminal and the civil. Derek Sylvester, who is the lawyer for Anderson now in the civil case, could say, okay, these men pled guilty for beating up and abusing and insulting and damaging my client. Now it could have implication, and we have to wait and see where the civil suit goes from here, right? We do not know where. Let me take this other call right here. Caller, you're live. Where are you calling us from?
Yes, right now. I'm calling from the UK, but it's a Vinci, man, right?
UK from Vinci. Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Yes. The last caller, they were saying she don't understand why the 2 people plead not guilty and 4 people be guilty, right? But I read something that the captain is alleging, the captain of the boat. He's alleging that Benji collect a slap from one of Anderson clan. So could be because there's counter allegations. They decide to work it out like that. And the Suk might have faced some charges too, you never know, based on allegations from each party, because who was there? You understand, who wasn't party to the incident to give evidence? So his allegations versus allegations, so it could be something like that.
Yes.
You see what I said?
Yeah. Listen, there are situations in court where the lawyers work out a deal, right?
But,
they could possibly work out a deal so that Anderson himself don't face or have any criminal record. We don't know.
Brother, that's how it does go, because I myself, I'm a law graduate. You understand?
Yes.
So none of them things happen. It does work like that.
Yeah. I won't deny that it may be some talks between both sides and they came to some kind of agreement. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, brother.
Thank you, my Vinci brother. Stay strong. Remember, Vinci, Grenada, St. Lucia, Trinidad, Barbados, we are one Caribbean at the end of the day.
Always one, brother.
Always one.
Always one. The only difference is this, right?
Yeah,
when
man.
the slave ship was dropping we off, they dropped some of us off in different islands.
Yes.
And like I say, some of a different accent, but we is one.
We is one.
So I don't understand all this back and all, everybody going on.
Yeah, man.
This one do like that, one and all this type of foolishness.
We are one.
Time to come together, man. This is what we should learn from this whole incident here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's time to wake up and everybody just embrace each other.
Thank you so much.
All right, my general.
Thank you so much.
All
right. Yeah. All right, guys. So here is my summary. And I want my Trinidadians and my Grenadians who've been on a roller coaster of emotions this past couple days. I want to speak from my Trinidadian side and my Grenadian side, because I do have a lot of family from Trinidad. I don't endorse that Trinidadians don't like Grenadians. When I go to Trinidad, pure love I get over there. Who bring me and buy doubles, and who bringing food for me and treating me like a real king when I hit down in Trinidad. So I don't endorse that. I understand, however, that there is an action, is a knee-jerk reaction. You insult somebody gonna react, they go say something, and social media is like that, Social media, you write something, and somebody see it and they feel insulted, they sit and they write back something to insult you more, to hurt your feelings more. We are all humans, that's how we act. Right? But at some point in time, we have to get over the emotional aspect of it. The truth and the fact about it is this happened to an individual, and Grenadians were mad about it, and they reacted to what they saw. Through the process of it, a lot of Grenadians said some pretty nasty thing, and they, at the point in time, you could understand that we was upset. Yes, it's blatant, it's disrespectful, or you could treat one of ours like that, right? And you can't tell me that you wouldn't feel the same way. But we understand, and I hope Grenadians understand as much as my Trini friends would understand, because I tell you, I right in the middle of the ocean. Right up in the middle of the ocean. We need to stop right here. Stop with the emotional roller coaster insult, tossing and cussing one another over some minute stuff that we have no control over, and let's come back in loving each other again. Let the court deal with those that's liable for causing harm, pain, distress on the individual. They don't represent the entire Trinidad and Tobago. I don't believe that they do. But we all have to learn how to respect each other. We have to learn how to respect each other. You see something you don't like, the first thing that most of us want to do is go and write up, try to think about the most insulting status to write up about them. Yeah? Because you're in your feelings. At the end of the day, if something were to happen, God forbid, something happened in Grenada right here, I'm sure people from Trinidad will jump to our rescue. Same people from Guyana, people from people from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Think about when the earthquake happened over in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. How much pile of water, and not bucket, but trucks of water we sent up. That's who we are as a people. That's who we are as a people. We are loving people. Let's come back. Let's bring back that love again, guys. And see this for what it is. This is an isolated incident. This is an incident that the people that perpetrated this incident, the 6, the 4, whoever who did this, they are, and to what I would say, they acted like thugs. They acted like thugs. That doesn't mean the population is a thug. These men in the video acted in a manner that was not conducive to good customer service or good service, period. And we cannot deny that they didn't act it in the proper way. They acted like thugs. And I hope by having more of this interaction and conversation, we would kind of park our emotions a bit. And again, see this for what it is. I wish I could have known. I wish I could have known what laid this. Someone said that I should also bring Anderson on the program. When he's fine and ready to do so. I won't force it. I won't force him. When it's fine and ready for him to come on, he will come on and he will share his story. But guys, let's recenter our emotion. Let's recenter ourselves now. Let's recenter ourselves and see this for what it is. An incident that occurred, and those responsible will pay for it. All right. Let's recenter our love, recenter ourselves, recenter our minds, and let the justice system play its role right now. If it is that these men were to get jail time, so be it. They acted like thugs. They acted in a manner that, that wasn't welcoming. That's what they get for that. All right. So we coming back closer, I don't family, Trinidad family, Grenadian family. Did the crew have work permits? I know that this is not going to end the conversation. I know that this wouldn't stop the back and forth that we've been seeing. But I'm just hopeful that we don't have to I won't look around social media and see continuous mimes tossing insult at the entire population. All right, Sherry Ann Sanders. All right, Sherry Ann Sanders. Let's kill the insults, right? Because you'll get a reaction, and everybody just keep reacting to the action, and it's back and forth. And I'm just isolating you. I'm isolating everybody who has fallen victim to the back and forth, and just forgetting everything why we started this conversation in the first place. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program. We appreciate you. We see ourselves as one Caribbean. We speak to the Caribbean. We are one Caribbean people. I love everybody from every Caribbean island. Love all the accents. Love to visit. All right. Thanks again. Let's run a quick advertise. Some of our sponsors. And we'll be right back. Don't move.
Make this carnival a special one at Spice Isle Jewelry. Get up to 40% off our collection of silver and gold jewelry with purchases above $115. Visit our 2 locations on Grenville Street, St. George's and Spiceland Mall Grand Dance and see our fine selection of traditional West Indian bangles, necklaces, earrings, rings and our unique handmade pieces. Step into Spice Isle Jewelry and shop in air-conditioned comfort with friendly, helpful and courteous staff. We also pay the most for scrap gold. Our repair service is second to none. Treat yourself or someone special with something special from Spice Isle Jewelry. Serving you since 1986. Call us on telephone number 440-3155 or 440-6648. Sale ends August 31st.
Grenadian products are now only a mouse click away at grenadamarket.com. Nutmeg and guava jams, jellies and the syrups, world famous nutmeg pain relief spray, black sage, soursop, lemongrass and bois bande bar. Ordering is simple and friendly. All major credit cards accepted. Safe, secure shopping guaranteed. grenadamarket.com ships your product anywhere in the world. So when you can't go to the island, the products off the island can be sent to you. Just log on to www.grenadamarket.com and experience our quick delivery and homely service.
Guys, let me also say that if you're going to be in New York for the Labor Day, we're inviting everyone to be a part of our parade on the road. Labor Day is called Trilogy NYC. Yeah, man, if you could be on the Parkway, jump with us, play with us, give you more information on the band and who we're going to be playing with. It's Trilogy NYC, Labor Day 2022. Yeah. Also, guys, we got to tell you about our brunch. Yeah, I have a brunch up there in New York. Labor Day weekend, the Ride Along support group brunch is back. Oil Dung, Lambie Waters, Cocoa Tea, and the world award winning potato pudding will be front and center. It'll be a nice vibe if you're in New York, guys. Link us up and let's have a massive reunion. Let's link up for Labor Day. Join us for the brunch. Join us for the fun. And of course, we on the road for Labor Day with Trilogy NYC. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for supporting. And I'm happy to always have this conversation. Don't forget, guys, listen, if you want to share your story, no matter where you're from, no matter what island you're from, we encourage you to inbox us. And this is a platform where everyone have a story to tell. Everyone, like everyone. Everyone. This is your platform and we're here for you. Ride Along Live, where everyone has a story to tell. Thanks again, guys. Catch you guys again tomorrow. On behalf of all our production team here at Ride Along, from my senior executive producer Lois JJ, our moderators Kibbs, Deanne Fraser, Gail Charles, Jacoby George, in studio in NYC, we say good night, good night, good night. Catch you guys again mañana.
Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
Chicks Export Limited, Toronto, Canada. Shipping barrels and other cargo to Grenada in 3 weeks, including custom clearing and home delivery to anywhere in Grenada. They source, purchase, and ship new and used anything. Call or WhatsApp Eric, aka Greens, on 416-569-9755. That's 416-569-9755. Check us out on Facebook at Green Chicks Export or email us at greenchicksexport@gmail.com.
Well, it's on the ride along, so it's happening here.
Came over here. What does it mean? You know, I grew up in what I guess you call a typical family.
We break all the stories, and that's just a fact. And that's why everyone has a story to tell.
Right along live, I mean.